everyone, and welcome to ABC Interactive English. I'm Mike, and I'm lonely. There's no one here with me. Nina was here this morning, but she's like, I gotta go do something really important. And I don't know where she went. And here she comes.
I'm here.
You rode in on this was the important thing you had to do, go and get a new scooter?
Well, first of all, I arrived fashionably late.
Oh, it's so heavy. You guys know these things, right?
It's an electric scooter.
And they're big and heavy. What are you doing? Are you riding this around downtown?
No, actually, I wanted to mail it to my brother. It's his, and he's been missing it. So I felt like I should do that for him.
You want to mail this?
Yeah.
It weighs like 6,000 pounds.
First of all.
Not 6,000 pounds, but it's very heavy.
Yeah, it's heavy, but...
And it's a super weird shape.
No, it's not a weird shape.
It's like a big L.
No, stop criticizing his scooter, okay?
It
this
is.
His baby.
And I'm sure it is. I'm just sending it through the mail.
Yes, I feel like if children can be sent through the mail, why can't this scooter be sent through the mail?
Because children aren't this heavy, and they're smaller, and they fit in a box.
Older children were sent through the mail too.
Well, that's true, but that was 1913, remember? And I don't think they'd be doing that back then. I mean, they wouldn't be doing that now, and I'm not sure you can say. Plus, it will be really expensive. Because they do things by how heavy it is, right?
So what choice do I have?
Well, I'm just trying to think, like, would it be cheaper for your brother to just buy a new one where he is rather than send this to him, because it might cost a lot? But it's an interesting question. I would be happy to go down to the post office with you and find out afterwards.
Oh, that'd be so great.
I just want to see them laugh when we walk in and
oh
say,
my
we want to send this.
Okay,
They're going to love it.
See you later, Mike.
All right, well, we'll handle it. We'll handle it. But first, we have to handle the article. So let's get to it now. She's crazy.
The most famous case happened in Idaho in 1914. 5-year-old May Pierstorff's parents sent her 73 miles to her grandmother's house by railway mail. It was cheaper than a train ticket.
So here we are, sending children through the U.S. mail, part 2. Now again, this isn't something that happens today, I don't think. I hope it doesn't happen today. But we did read that back in 1913, when they started their parcel post service, sending big boxes and packages, one couple decided to send their little baby boy 1 mile through the mail to see his grandmother.
Well, I feel like if they can do that with a baby, I don't see why not with my scooter.
Well, that's a very good point. That is a good point. But we don't actually know that the baby got to the grandmother's house, right? Maybe the postman just said, what are you, crazy? And then it never happened. But there apparently was another similar situation. That baby in Ohio wasn't the only one whose family tried to send him through the mail. So let's check out the article. The most famous case happened in Idaho in 1914. So just a year later, nearby Ohio, up there in Idaho, they had a similar situation or a similar case.
So a case is a particular situation or an example of something. So for example, right now, with COVID happening, right? Well, thankfully not in Taiwan.
Not too bad.
Not too bad, but they say, there hasn't been any cases of COVID in Taiwan recently, or not that many cases, right?
That's true. Or police officers, right? We'll also talk about a case. Every time something happens, a store gets robbed, a person gets robbed, there's a fire in a building, the police might open a new case. So it's an interesting situation, an interesting set of events that happened, and it might be sort of unusual or might make the news. If it's a very interesting case, it might become news. So here's another situation or case where some people tried to send their kid through the mail. So there wasn't just one case, there were several. So what happened this time in Idaho?
So a 5-year-old May Pierstorff's parents sent her 73 miles.
Well, that's a long way.
To her grandmother's house by railway mail.
Really?
Yes, so I told you.
Why did they do this?
It was cheaper than a train ticket.
That's why they did it. There you go. So, I mean, I guess if you're only looking at the cost, it might be cheaper to put a stamp on your kid and send them in the mail rather than buy a ticket, but I don't think that's right or safe or legal or anything like that. But yes, it would definitely be cheaper. And of course, when we use the adjective cheaper, we're saying it costs less money, all right? Something that is cheap has a low price, something that's expensive has a high price. But if you're talking about two things, no matter what the price, but one thing is less money than another thing, then that thing is cheaper than the other one, all right? So even if it is something that costs a lot of money, if it's less money, it will be cheaper. For example, if you're flying by airplane, you might fly to the same place, but if you buy a ticket in coach or economy at the back of the plane, those tickets will be cheaper than the tickets you buy in first class, which cost a lot more money.
Indeed. And speaking of cheaper, my friends and family always make this joke because I don't know if you've noticed, I'm quite small.
Okay.
I'm short and I'm small in just size, so they always make this joke that they can
They're going to send you in the mail?
No, but similar. They're going to put me in their suitcase so they can take me abroad with them.
Because it's cheaper?
Yes.
Oh my God.
Well, actually, no, I volunteer because I don't have money for the ticket all the time, so I'm like, can I just go inside your luggage, please?
So get a big suitcase, put Nina inside with a bottle of water and a phone and a charger. You'll be fine.
Exactly.
You'll be fine.
Why not?
12 hours in an airplane. Yeah, no problem. But yes, that would save you having to buy your ticket.
Very true. And the other word, ticket. Ticket is basically a piece of paper or a card that proves that you paid for maybe an event or a journey, like a train ticket, right? Or the other day, I think I wanted to go to this party that my friend was throwing, but she made it a system that you had to buy tickets, and she ran out of tickets.
Oh no, the tickets were sold out.
So I couldn't go to her event because they were sold out.
That is too bad. But you're right, movies, concerts, events like that, and of course, buses, trains, airplanes, all those types of things. You will pay for your ticket, and that allows you to go in that place or go on that machine or travel to that destination. Let's take a break and then we'll be back with more Kids by Mail.
May's parents put stamps on her coat and gave her to the mail carrier. He just happened to be May's mother's cousin. He kept her company on the train and delivered her to her grandmother. In 1920, the USPS finally put an end to mailing children. It's a good thing, too. Just imagine what travel would be like today.
All right, guys, welcome back. So, Mike, what did May's parents actually do? How did they do it?
I don't know. Well, Mr. and Mrs. Pierstorff, they had a problem. They had a kid. They didn't have the money to send the kid by train or have the grandmother come and pick the kid up. So they sent the kid through the mail, which of course is very strange. But yes, once you have the idea, let's send the kid through the mail. What a great idea. How are we going to do this? You could get a nice envelope. The kid won't fit in the envelope. No. If you put stamps on the kid's face, the kid might start crying or pull the stamps off.
On the shirt, put a bow on it.
But it's a problem, right? How do you actually send a little person through the mail? Well, let's find out. May's parents put stamps on her coat and gave her to the mail carrier. That's exactly all that they did? Oh my gosh. Anyway, so that's what they did. They got some stamps. Of course, stamps, these are the things that you stick on a letter, right?
Yeah.
They stuck it on the kid's coat, and then they just gave her to the mail carrier, to the postman who came to their house to pick up, what, letters, packages, but not children. But today he's picking up children. And it says he just happened to be May's mother's cousin. The mail carrier knew the Pierstorffs.
That makes more sense.
Okay, I suppose it does, but he could also tell them, you guys are my relatives and my family, but you're all crazy. I'm not doing this.
Yeah, that's
But wait,
true.
it has the right stamps on it. Oh, okay. I'll take the kid now.
That works.
It's got the right stamps on it. Well,
the right
I have
stamps.
to take
You
it.
paid for it, right?
There you go.
Yeah, so a stamp is basically a piece of paper, a small piece of paper that has a picture on it where you put on maybe a letter or a package to say that you've paid for this to be mailed or shipped.
Yeah, basically, it's got a sticky thing on the back that you lick. You put it on your package, and of course, it will also have a value or a money amount. So it's kind of like money, but you use it to stick on your letters to show that you've paid for the letter to travel. Because, of course, it's not free, but it's still very cheap, right?
Yes,
That's why
it is.
Stamps are often, less than 100 NT, and you use a few different ones. Anyways, we also had this word cousin. Now, a cousin is a member of your family. Your cousins are the children of your aunts and uncles. Often in your family, they'll be maybe around the same age as you. So your father and mother have brothers and sisters. Those are your aunts and uncles, and their children are your cousins. Now, it's very simple in English. It doesn't matter which aunt or uncle it is.
Yeah.
They're all your cousins. We have many types of cousins.
Even second or third cousins.
Third cousins, once removed. You can get into that, but the simple thing in English is we generally just have one word, and we use that word for lots of different people in the family, especially if they're the children of an aunt or an uncle. They're a cousin. I have cousins. I don't even know how we're related. But we're just like, hey, cousin.
Yeah. Maybe it's your dad's aunt, cousin's child is also kind of your cousin.
Kind of like that.
Because you don't know what to call them.
Exactly.
So you call them your
This
cousin.
person could have just arrived through the mail in my family, and we still call them cousin.
Yeah, that's hilarious.
All right, back to the article.
Yeah, so how did he do it? Let's find out. He kept her company on the train and delivered her to her grandmother.
Oh, this is the cousin. This is the adult.
Yeah, that's nice.
The
He kept
mail
her company.
carrier. Oh, so he actually went with the kid on the train because he worked for the mail service on the train. Okay.
So the parents weren't that irresponsible.
I guess if someone you know works for the company, then you would be much more relaxed and trusting to send your child with a family member who works for the company.
Yeah. So back to the story. In 1920, the USPS finally put an end to mailing children.
Yeah, let's stop doing this,
Thank
everyone.
God.
1920, we decided this is a bad idea.
Yes, it sounds very weird too. Like mailing children.
What if they get lost? Because letters get lost.
Yeah,
What if they get
happened?
damaged?
There'll be missing children posts everywhere.
Wandering around with stamps on their face. Mom, Mom.
Oh God, yeah, so it's a good thing too.
Yeah.
Just imagine what travel would be like today.
It would be a lot quieter. Well, if all the kids on the plane who are screaming and yelling were in the mail, then it might actually be a lot quieter.
Yeah?
Maybe we should go back to this.
Okay, let's bring you back. Not a good idea.
Let's not think about that. No, when we say imagine what something would be like, we're kind of making, we're thinking up, we're inventing a situation, and we're kind of trying to get you to put your mind as if that was real, right? So when we imagine things like this, we're also maybe pretending things, okay? So actors, of course, will have to imagine that they're a different person, that they're in a different situation. If they're in making a movie that's set in space, a sci-fi movie, they might have to imagine that they're battling monsters or imagine that there's a big spaceship over there. It's not real. They're using their mind. They're using their imagination, which is when you are creative and make up stuff in your brain. So when you're doing that, you are imagining. This is the verb form.
And travel is basically when you go from one point to another point, but usually in long distances.
Yeah,
So
you
when
wouldn't really say I'm traveling to the 7-Eleven across the street.
Yeah, you wouldn't. So it's long distances, so I can travel to a different country or a different city. Travel, take my suitcase. Maybe sometimes I'm just with my backpack.
Sure.
Yeah.
Could be for holiday, could be for business, could be to see your family, or to find your kid, which you lost in the mail. All right, guys, well, that's all the time we have. Don't send people through the mail.
Moral of the story.
If there's one lesson that Nina and I really want to get across to you today, it's not about English grammar, vocabulary. Do not send people in the mail. All right, that's all you have to remember for today. If you remember a little bit more, great. and we do hope you come back to join us for more fun and interesting articles in the very near future. Until then, take care of yourselves and each other, and we'll see you back here soon. And not in the mail.
Not in the
mail. If you see us in the mail, rescue us. Save us. This is not a good situation.
Yes, we didn't volunteer to do that.
And if we find you in a suitcase.
I volunteered to do that.
Really? That's okay?
Don't save me. I'm good. Yes.
We'll just be quiet.
Shh. It's a secret.
All right.
All right.
Take care, guys. See you
Bye.
soon. Bye-bye.
The most famous case happened in Idaho in 1914. 5-year-old May Pierstorff's parents sent her 73 miles to her grandmother's house by railway mail. It was cheaper than a train ticket. May's parents put stamps on her coat and gave her to the mail carrier. He just happened to be May's mother's cousin. He kept her company on the train and delivered her to her grandmother. In 1920, the USPS finally put an end to mailing children. It's a good thing, too. Just imagine what travel would be like today.
Hi， 大家好，我是 Stephanie。那我们今天照样从单字来看。第一个单字呢是 case， 它是名词案例。像是持续很久的 COVID-19， 每天下午2点，新闻都会报告新增确诊人数，每个个体呢都是一个案例。如果今天有3个确诊人数，我们可以这么说 ：The news confirmed 3 more cases of COVID today。新闻证实今天新增3个确诊病例。第二个单字呢是名词 stamp， 邮票。Curtis has a collection of stamps。Curtis 收藏了一系列的邮票。第三个单字是 cousin， 名词表兄弟姐妹。Jamie likes Christmas because he gets to meet his cousins. Jamie 喜欢圣诞节，因为他可以见到他的表兄弟姐妹。最后一个单字呢是 travel， 名词往返旅行。Are you interested in space travel？ 你对太空旅行有兴趣吗？好，那我们接下来看文法。今天的第一个文法呢是 happen to be 加名词碰巧是。happen to 指的是刚好恰巧。那这个用法呢 happen 它不可以是进行式哦。那天我在听 podcast 的时候呢，听到有人分享搬家的经验，他发现他的邻居居然是前男友，这实在是太尴尬了。那我们依照这个情境呢去造一个句子。Annie's new neighbor happens to be her ex-boyfriend. Annie 的新邻居恰好是她的前男友。第二个重点呢是 A keeps B company。A 陪伴 B，A 跟 B 作伴。Company 在这里呢是不可数名词陪伴。The new puppy keeps my grandparents company. 新的小狗陪伴着我的爷爷奶奶。不知道大家是不是也和我家一样，都有一只贴心的小宠物陪伴长时间待在家里的祖父母呢？另外，我们再看一个句子哦。I enjoy my own company， 直译是我喜欢和自己作伴，那也就是喜欢独处的意思。最后一个重点是 just imagine what 加主词再加动词，只要想象。首先，我们可以把这个句子在 what 前面切一半。把 what 引导的名词子句 what 加主词加动词框成一组，这时候这个框框呢，它就是 imagine 的受词，也就是所想象的事物。比如说 Just imagine what life would be like without electricity。想象一下没有电的生活会是什么样子。接下来我们再更换动词，看下一个句子。Vivian couldn't see what the sign said。Vivian 看不清楚那个牌子上写什么。一样，我们以 what 作为分界。What the sign said， 这个句子里面的 the sign 是主词 ，said 是动词，合起来呢就变成牌子写什么。所以 Vivian 看不清楚的是牌子上写了什么。好，那今天的讲解就到这里 ，See you。
I'm Jamie.
I'm Iyin.
And today we're playing Guess the Bear, where we each have 3 cards and they have words or phrases on them, but we're going to not say those words or phrases, we're going to say bear instead, and we're going to have to guess what the word or phrase is. So we each have 1 minute. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay, let's do you first. Ready?
Okay.
Go. Okay. 1 word, noun. Put a bear on the envelope before you mail it. And my uncle has a large bear collection.
Stamp.
Good. All right. 1 word, noun. The bear of her disappearance is still unsolved. And I thought I failed, but that wasn't the bear.
Truth.
Almost.
Say the first sentence again.
The bear of her disappearance is still unsolved.
Oh, the case?
Good.
Okay.
All right. Phrase, 2 words. I offered to bear her bear on her road trip. And his dog always bears him bear when he's lonely.
Cares for?
Kind of close.
Once again.
I offered to bear her bear on her road trip.
I offered to bear her a bear. I offered to pay for her gas.
His dog always bears him bear when he's lonely.
Cuddles.
Kind of similar. Oh, it's okay.
Wah.
It was
What
pretty
was it?
hard. It's A keeps B company. So I offered to keep her company on her road trip, and his dog always keeps him company when he's lonely. I'm like, oh, cuddles is related.
Yeah.
Okay,
Okay.
that was hard.
You ready?
Yep.
Okay, let's go timer. First is a noun. He loves bear, so he became a flight attendant. The second one, I've always been fascinated by space bear.
Travel?
Yes,
Alright.
okay. Next one is a noun. They aren't brother and sister, they are bears. My aunt brought my bear over to play with us.
Cousin?
Yes. Oh, she's going through them fast. Okay. Phrase, it's 3 words. We just bared bear in the same place at the same time. I picked up a sandwich because I just bared bear hungry.
Happened to be?
Yes!
Okay, actually, I didn't think I would get that.
Congratulations.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
See you next time.